昔々、100年くらい昔。
Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Tori. In the last episode, we met a vampire, which means the main protagonist is said to be like an angel, or I guess a lamb, however you want to look at it. And now we have met a literal vampire. And this is actually shortly after we talked to a supposed devil on our phone. Lots of stuff going on already. And it's still like the same night. We've entered the next day, but it's still the same damn night of which we actually started the story with. Anyways, we are now getting a backstory, I believe, from this 99-year-old or something like that vampire here, who doesn't appear to be evil whatsoever or have any bad intentions. But I do have to wonder, other than revisiting the place where she technically, grew up until she became a vampire, why else would she be here? I feel like there's more, Anyways, let's see what she has to tell.
人里離れた集落の中にメアリー・ハーカーという美少女がいました。
I don't know why she's telling the story from like a third-person perspective, but okay. Calling yourself beautiful now, huh?
みんなに言われるから客観的にそうなんじゃない？
She doesn't even seem conscious of how what she just said sounds. Though, if she'd called herself ugly, it would have come only across as snide or sarcastic. I need to adjust like the font. I know there's like some font settings, but I keep getting tongue twisted with the default font.
こういう話し方だと説明しづらいくらいごく普通に暮らしていました。
Then just speak normally.
そうだね。吸血鬼になるまでは普通の生活をしてただけだから省略しちゃうけど。
I mean, details are fine, or just, I guess, a summary, but okay, whatever, we'll take this.
ある日、ちょっとした事故があって、両親は死に、私も死にそうになってたの。
Ah, so her parents are just, they're gone. The day that she became a vampire, her parents, poof.
ちょうどそこに、私のマスターになる吸血鬼、とっても綺麗な女の人が現れた。そのまま死ぬか、吸血鬼として永遠の夜を生きるかの選択を迫られて、私は生きることを選んだ。
Where have I heard something like this before?
それからの2年間、私は彼女と旅をした。
At this point, Mary falls silent. For a moment, she stares into the distance, recalling those past memories. I ensure I don't react. There are two major things that she's omitted from her story so far. What kind of accident did Mary and her parents get into? And then how did Mary feel when her parents had passed? And I don't know. I want to say that there's a third question here that she didn't necessarily omit this part. She definitely was, met by a vampire and was given an option of whether to die or not. And in order to live, she had to become a vampire. But how did she feel about that, Was she kind of like her hand was forced? Did she feel like she had to live on, or was her life over because her parents were gone, or did she not know? I'm sure there's more to really consider here, but I don't question her. If she was going to tell me, I imagine she would have done so already.
マスターは、その吸血鬼の女の人はね、本当に無口で、私に何も強制しなかったし、たまに口を開いても、私に話しかけているというより、空気に向かって独り言を言ってるみたいな人だった。並んで歩いていても全く視線を向けてこないくせに、私の足が止まって距離が空くと、振り向いてじっと見つめてくるような人。
What an awkward couple of years that must have been traveling. I find it strange that Mary has hardly spared a compliment for her. In any case, it seems the two of them traveled together. I imagine that calm must have been good for Mary, helping to heal her heart from the loss of her parents. A gentle smile hangs over her face as she talks. A smile mixed with nostalgia and sadness.
どうにか笑わせようと思って、たくさん話しかけてみた時期もあるんだけど、一度だけ。しかも、唇の端をちょっと持ち上げるくらいしかできなかったんだよね。最後まで名前すら教えてもらえなかった。
Really? Wow.
二人だけの生活って 名前がなくても平気なんだよね。
Yeah, but still, like, you didn't even know the name of the person that technically saved your life? Gave you an opportunity to, like, live on?
でも彼女はとっても吸血鬼らしい吸血鬼だった。
Fuck does that mean? You mean she killed people by draining their blood? I hadn't planned to interject, but I wanted to save Mary from having to say it herself. However, she shakes her head.
私と一緒にいる間は彼女は誰も殺さなかった。
But outside of that?
もちろんそれ以前にはたくさんの人を殺してきたと
I mean,
思う。
how... you know what? I'm not even going to ask the question.
吸血
It's
鬼ら
not,
しい
it's not
吸
an
血鬼っていう
appropriate
のは
time. I will ask later.
生きることに飽きていた。
Oh.
彼女が人間の血を吸わなくなったのも心を入れ替えたとかじゃなくて、もういいやって思ってたんだと。
Was she trying to starve herself?
なんとか彼女からいろいろと聞き出そうとしてボソボソとした独り言をまとめてみたんだけど、彼女は少なくとも300年は生きていてヨーロッパの方から来た人だった。いわゆる吸血鬼を倒そうって人たちに追われて東へ逃げ続けて、仲間もいたみたいだけど、みんな殺されちゃって。
Yeah, there may have been some reasons why she was, you know, tired of living. If you had to go it alone for who knows how long, that would suck. That would drive anybody to insanity.
彼女だけが日本にたどり着いた。あの人は私よりも海を見つめていることが多かった。もうどこにも歩いていけない東の果てまで来て、それでもどこかへ向かおうとしていた。やっぱり死にたがってた。
Well, that got a little emotional. Mary takes a sip of tea. This diverts my attention to her hands, which aren't shaking at all.
で、まあ私と一緒に2年くらい日本をぐるぐる歩いてたの。マスターは大陸に比べれば日本は吸血鬼にとって比較的安全だ。
No,
みたい
I
なことは言
feel
ってたね。
I do have to agree. You know, you don't really hear of vampires in Japan unless it's the Monogatari series, but I would say Europe and pretty much maybe like America, maybe Canada, you know, that part of the West would probably be very dangerous areas for a vampire to be. I don't know. I feel like there's definitely an abundance of European-based stories with vampires.
もちろん比較的ってだけで私たちみたいなのは対峙する人はいる
I
み
don't
た
even
い
know why
だ
I'm
け
trying
ど
to think of like the location details of how safe it is for a vampire. They're not real. Exorcists.
日本には日本で言霊使いって人たちがいるの。
Yes, we do. Here in this lovely country, Kododama exists, and I guess it's been widely known or at least shared around.
その人たちに見つかったら絶対に逃げられないって言われた。数は少ないけどその分神様みたいにめちゃくちゃ強いんだって。
And can you argue here that our protagonist has a variation of Kododama? It's not necessarily... I mean, Kododama is power through words. But here, this is power through touch and comfort. What's Kododama?
口にした言葉が現実にその通りになる人たち。人間だろうが吸血鬼だろうが死ねって一言でおしまい。
That's kind of insane. It is. Kunado Chronicles even takes it further without getting into the details, because, you know, the less remembering of that game that I have to do, the better. But they kind of utilize Kododama as, like, a combat mechanic, which, thinking about it now, I don't think should have worked as well as it did, but whatever. For the sake of Kunado Chronicles, we'll leave it be. Either way, yeah, there's a lot of crazy, wacky bullshit that you can do with Kododama. So we can add gods that control words to the list of things that lurk in the shadows of Japan, along with devils and vampires. Are you not worried, Mary?
私は誰かを襲って血を吸ったことは本当に一度もないから心配してくれてありがとね。
It's nothing. I nod.
話を戻すけど、その後はもう何か大きい事件とかはないんだよね。いつもと変わらない旅の途中のある日、 私のマスターだった彼女は急にいなくなって、それで私は本当に一人になった。
Which is probably the worst situation to be in, honestly. You know, whether you're living on for eternity or, I guess, till whenever that you're going to naturally die as a regular ass human, don't go it alone.
どうしようかなって思ったけど、彼女が残していた貴金属とか宝石がたくさんあって、お金には困らなかったから、第二次世界大戦の時は日本にいると危ないかなってアメリカに渡っていたけどね。
Honestly, the best move to make there.
そこでも旅をして、戦争が終わって落ち着いた頃にまた日本に戻ってきた。何十年も歩いてばかりだった。その間、運がいいのか悪いのか、私みたいな人間じゃない存在には合わなかった。
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how common are vampires supposed to be in this world?
逆に
We never came across a single one in Amatsutsumi
いろいろな場
or
所のいろ
Kunato
いろな人た
Chronicles.
ちに優しくされた。
I mean, the latter makes sense if you've gone through Kunato Chronicles, but yeah, regardless, even in Amatsutsumi, you know, devils, demons, and all of that, really, they were sort of just, you know, loose terms to describe, you know, a person and their abilities. Like how those with Kododama you can argue are like gods. They aren't necessarily a godlike figure, they're still human, but you can use that to describe them.
それから文明が恐ろしいスピードで進歩して、どんどん街が綺麗になっていって、夜もいつの間にか私みたいなのがいても全然気にされない時代になってた。
I mean, there's some telling signs here with this character. You know, the ears, a little bit of the eyes, the bat wings that she could just store away.
だから、
Oh, her teeth, maybe?
ああ、それならもういいかなって
Uh-oh.
旅を終わらせる気になった。ここに戻ってくるつもりになったの。
That sigh makes me realize that we're reaching the present day. Realizing I'm thirsty, I go to drink my tea, only to realize it's gotten cold.
で、今の故郷はどんなかなーってインターネットで調べたら、うわ、学園になってるよってびっくり。
And that would have been today, or last night.
そう、
Mary smiles. I fall silent to allow myself to digest her story. It sure is a strange one. Abnormal, but with nothing dramatic. Mary herself didn't get worked up about any part of it. I imagine that's because literally nothing happened. It's just a story about the end of a peaceful journey.
何か質問したいことはある？
I mean, there is the glaring issue of which she's not wanting to travel anymore. She came here and this is going to be her resting place, I guess you can argue. She'll live out whatever rest of her days that she wants to live out, and that's probably going to be it. I don't know how she's going to probably want to take herself out if that's probably her end goal, but yeah, an eternal, you know, life of any sort is going to have a caveat of it's eternal. There is no end, even when you're ready for it to, you know, end. Mary is still smiling. She's such a kind girl. Just one.
一つでいいの？
Yeah. I smile gently back. I imagine Mary will answer any question I ask with full honesty, so I've decided to limit myself to one. You said you managed to make the woman who had turned you into a vampire smile once. How did you do that? Mary looks perplexed, surprised by my question. Her red eyes cloud over slightly, but soon her smile returns. This time there's no hiding the sadness in her smile. It's one that allows me a glimpse at her true essence.
お母さんって
Ah, man.
一度だけ。そしたらあの人はちょっと困ったように唇の端を持ち上げて、その呼び方だけはやめてくれ
Oh,
って。
well, yeah. I mean, who's to say what kind of life this person had lived before as well?
私が感情的に当たり散らしても一度も怒ったことない人がその一度だけお願いしてきたの。本当のお母さんは死んじゃってて、彼女にはお母さんらしいことなんて一度もしてもらわなかったけど、でも
She was that one figure in her life.
私にとってあの人は二人目の
Well,
お
in
母
her
さん
new
だ
life, I guess you could say. I see. I acknowledge Mary's feelings, but say nothing more. I then place my teacup without noticing it was empty on the table and stand up. Mary looks up at me curiously.
どうしたの？
You said that you're okay with churches, right?
うん。
Let's go pray. For both of your parents and for the silent vampire too. That their souls may find peace. She not happy about that? Honestly, I mean, she did the amen thing, like, in the last episode. I don't know if she was just doing it not as a, like, mocking thing, but to, like, fit the scenario, fit the setting. But, I don't know. Is she apprehensive? It's easy to see that she's completely frozen up. Does she not want to do that? And then tears start to well up in her eyes. She begins to cry without moving, without making a sound, without losing breath. Tears flow down her cheeks to where they spill off her jaw. Ah, so even vampires cry. Yeah, it seems like we've had a complete wrong idea about vampires here, but that's all good. That is all good. This character's pretty cool. I go ahead to wait for her in the chapel.
ありがとうございます。
Her faint words of gratitude reach me as I leave. Okay, not to, ruin the lovely moment or anything like that, but in the last episode, I was kind of tackling the volume issue. I have not adjusted anything because everything sounded pretty okay. But if characters speak softly like she just was, that's, gonna be a thing. But we'll get it right. We will get everything right. Just give me until episode 5. A little later, the two of us kneel before the altar in prayer. I follow the lead of her feelings by not praying aloud, but offering up a silent prayer to those I've never met. Our Father who art in heaven, I may not believe in you, but I pray you can bring peace to others who aren't me. I hear a cough from behind me, where Mary is praying. I spin around, and am left in shock. Okay. Not really sure why the blood, but blood trickles from a corner of Mary's mouth as she coughs and prays. Are you okay?
大丈夫。
Yep, that is the spitting image of, or splitting image of somebody that is definitely okay. Yeah, she's totally fine. Spitting image, huh? She stops praying, stands up, and wipes her mouth.
お祈りしてくれてありがとね。
Yeah, but you're...
これは病気とかじゃないから気にしないで。
She wipes her mouth again, but the blood is already gone.
十字架は平気なんだけど、すごく強くお祈りすると私の体が反応しちゃって、お祈りアレルギーかな。
That's one way of putting it. That proves she really was praying.
はい、しんみりした空気はここまで。
Mary smiles cheerfully, trying to force herself to feel that way, I imagine.
とはいえ、リツくんはさすがにそろそろ寝ないといけないよね。
Oh, right. I completely forgot about tomorrow, which is now today. I check my phone for the time. It's already past 2 in the morning. I'm not going to be able to get up at 6, huh?
いつも6時になって起きてるの？
It's all about that rise and grind. Yeah.
全寮制ってそんなに授業が始まるの早いんだ。
Oh, classes don't start until at least 8, but I have things to do before then, like morning worship, cleaning the residence, and stuff.
掃除？
This place is way too big for one person, so I have to go around cleaning bits of it every day or I'll never keep up. This large residence may give the appearance that I live in luxury, but there's no one to take care of the building other than me. Do you think hiring a maid would go against the church's creed?
いや、私に真顔でそんなこと言われましても。
Honestly, I think the students should be cleaning up here. Like it should be their responsibility, a couple of them come in every week or whatever and help out. Like, this is crazy. I was joking.
冗談じゃなくて、男の子の夢とかロマンじゃないかな。
I smile in confirmation. Never mind that. Enough chatting. I'm really sorry, but you'll have to stay here today. Tomorrow we can go looking for an empty house for you. Huh? I'm taken aback. I wasn't expecting that reaction. Did I say something strange?
それ、本気で言ってる?
On what part? Her expression is deadly serious. I know that it's not great to have to stay in the same house as a man, but we can't really look for somewhere else at this time.
そうじゃなくて、ちゃんと最初にお願いしたし、これまでの私の話の流れで普通なら気づきそうなものだけど。
No, the main protagonists here, along with me, the dumbass recording this, are both oblivious, excuse me. We don't really know what's going on. We don't know what you mean. You have to spit it out. I'm completely baffled. Mary's giving me the look a rather short sister would give her dumb younger brother. Not a great metaphor, huh? No, not at all.
神様、あなたのしもべはちょっと天然なところがあるようです。
Okay, you don't have to go and say that. I mean, you can, but I'm still trying to figure things out when Mary sighs.
ね、リツくん。私はここで暮らしたいの。
Yeah, I said I'd help you.
そうじゃなくて、ここ。
So she doesn't want a house. She just wants to be here with Ritsu. As in, at the academy.
違うよ。私はこの家で暮らしたいの。
Yeah, that's what I'm getting here.
だからこそ、私は一番最初にこの家に来たんだし、今住んでるリツくんに申し訳ないから、いろいろとお話ししたんだよ。
All my thought processes have stopped, but Mary continues to drive the point home.
このお屋敷が、もともと私の家だったんだよ。
Ah. Like, where we're standing, basically. Well, minus the chapel, I guess, but okay. Alrighty. Nice little bird cage there. We get the meaning of that, I'm sure. It's kind of obvious about the bird cage, you know, connection. And then, I fell asleep. And now it's daytime. It's daytime for the first time in this visual novel. We're on the third fucking episode of this Let's Play. And we're finally in the daytime. Only to wake up 4 hours later. Good morning. Not at all feeling rested, I sit up in bed and stretch out my neck. Yeah, Mary's claim is valid. Having no family or hometown of my own makes me want to help her out all the more so. I mumble to myself alone in my room. I've come to my decision. There are plenty of unused rooms in this residence, so space isn't an issue. And it's so far removed from the rest of the academy that we don't need to worry about anyone finding out that she's being harbored here. Money apparently wouldn't be an issue due to all the valuables that Mary's master had left her. What's more, since she's not able to go out during the daylight, she said that she would help out with the washing, cooking, and cleaning too. Well, forget all that other bullshit I was saying that the students should be helping out here. Now we've got a goddamn vampire that's gonna help out. It's literally perfect. And yet I'm still reluctant to consent. You should. Why the fuck wouldn't you? Like, yeah, it's weird, but I mean, this is great. I mean, it's a win-win for both parties here. Ethically, I'm opposed to a man and woman living together when they're unrelated. Who gives a shit? Or at least that's how I feel. Who gives a shit? It's kind of ridiculous for me to bring up ethics after all the girls I've been with, but this is different. I've gotten to know Mary. She's not just another stranger to me. Naturally, I double-checked if she was okay being in the same house as me, a man. And when I did... Ah ha ha. The fuck kind of response was that? Okay, she just laughed it off. Cool, you know? Helps our oblivious mind. I cover my face with my hands. Goddamn. I'm embarrassed just thinking about it. Evidently, Mary doesn't see me as a man. Ah. Great. I've started my morning off cringing at my memories. No longer worried about falling back asleep, I decide to get changed before the cold sets in. Well, that's lovely. Alright, we get to start the day. And we're still here in this goddamn building. I gave up on attending morning worship. but it's weighing on my mind enough for me to pop into the chapel. I'll at least offer up an apology. I reach the front of the altar, where I'm stopped in shock. It's been tidied up beautifully. I look over to the candles. All the ones that were running short have been replaced, and then I check the font by the entrance to find that the holy water in it replaced. What's more, the floor and windowsills have been swept. Mary must have done it during the night, and a great job that she's done. Her father had been a priest, apparently, and so I imagine she used to help him out. Okay. All right. Again, this very, just sensory overload type kitchen here. It's very nice. I just noticed the goddamn checkerboard pattern on the wall there. That makes it so much worse. It could have just been a plain fucking wall. Why? Why does it have to be checkerboard? I find more examples of Mary's hard work. Goddamn. After I finish praying and head to the kitchen. I can't really blame that on the font. Yeah, I will experiment with it. I do want to see if I can change the font to something a little bit more not spaced out. Breakfast has all been taken care of. A pot on the stove filled with pork miso, plates of boiled spinach and pickled vegetables wrapped in cling film, all beautifully arranged. Even a lunchbox set aside for later. All I had done before I went to sleep was place some rice in the cooker, but when I open that, I find even that hasn't escaped her handiwork. White rice sits there, seasoned and flavored. It all looks amazing. The chapel was a surprise, and now this has left me feeling moved. Sure, I eat food made by others at the Academy cafeteria in its cafes, but none of that food was made specifically for me. And none of it by a cute girl, a vampire girl at that. I could get used to this. This is what happiness feels like. I bet I'd feel even happier if I could eat this with her, but I think that's aiming too high. Wanting to thank her, but worried about what opening her door in the middle of the day might do, I decide to send her a text. Thanks for the food, I'm about to eat it. She's either asleep or embarrassed, as I get no reply. I would assume asleep because, sunlight is, just coming right in. I think it's nighttime for her, sleepy time. Excited, I start getting ready to eat. Usually I would take my meals into the reception room, but since I'm short on time today, I'll just eat at the kitchen table. I put my hands together and say a prayer. For what we are about to receive, may the Lord make us truly grateful. I should say a bit more, but today I'll have to omit it. Thank you too, Mary. Amen. I immediately pinch some rice between my chopsticks. I've been in charge of looking after myself ever since I can remember, so I'm pretty confident in my own cooking ability. Hence, I'm starting to get competitive, doubting that there's any chance that she's better than me. So I take a bite. Dear Lord, this is good. Hallelujah. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. I am in shock. The seasoning's a bit too light for my taste, but that allows the natural flavor of the food to stand out more. Everything she used to make this, I had lying around anyway, so we were on a level playing field, but she's blown me out of the water. Fortunately for me, she clearly didn't inherit the culinary skills of your average British person. At this point, I receive a text. Bad-mannered though it may be, I continue to eat as I open it.
口に合うといいんだけどね。
Oh, okay.
夜は一緒にご飯を食べよ。
Look, she even did like the little face there, with the little carrot symbols. That delightful message makes the food taste even better. Honestly, vampire shit aside, she's a cute ass character, and she's skilled. She's helpful. I'm excited for her character, honestly, and really all of the other characters that are bound to be brought up here, hopefully shortly. Later on, the nice weather makes today even better. After clearing away my breakfast, I head out for class. Since I didn't have to make breakfast myself, I have plenty of time. I'll do it. I look back at my residence still walking forward as I reach a decision. I'm going to tell Mary everything tonight, everything about myself and my circumstances. I had already planned on talking about it, though there hadn't been enough time the previous night. Right then, my phone starts beeping. It's a call this time, not a text. I usually don't receive calls at this time, so I wonder if it might be Mary again, only to discover caller unknown displayed across the screen. We know what that means. Sure sucks that just not answering isn't an option for me. I'm 90% sure it's that devil. Oh, okay. But on the off chance it might be a girl in need of help, I have to pick up. I reluctantly take the call. Hello?
おはようございます。ご主人様?
Yeah, here we go. Actually, she's still kind of loud, you know, compared to Mary. She's actually pretty goddamn loud, even with my settings. I'll just have to leave it be. If you guys don't like it, then, I don't know. I'll look at it whenever I'm editing as well. I know it's you. The voice may sound cute, but I find myself scowling. People are gonna get the wrong idea about you if you start showing up on bright, lovely mornings like this one.
昨日の夜から徹夜をしていて、これから寝ると考えれば、不健康な生活だと思いますが?
Right. It's logically sound, I'll give it that.
まあ、僕は悪魔なので、睡眠を必要としませんが。
Oh yeah? That's cool. Can't relate. I take it you've built up enough power for another chat then. I skip over the meaningless small talk. There are too many questions. However...
いえ、せっかくなので、ご主人様にモーニングコールをしようと、力を無駄遣いしております。
Oh, great. That's literally a waste. I find myself shouting. I've got a lot of things to ask you, so save up that power and call me back when you can spare more time.
今日も生き生きとされていますな。
No, I'm just angry. Do you really think putting a positive spin on things is gonna calm me down?
ご主人様は僕
We
と
also,
話している
like,
時だけ
didn't have a lot of
性
sleep.
格というか、キャラがブレておられませんか?
I'm sure a lot of things can kind of push Ritsu over the edge here. Don't act like I'm the one at fault here, moron.
お褒めいただき、ありがとうございます。
It takes everything I've got not to hang up the phone this instant.
まあまあ、人生における無駄こそ、楽しく、美しく、価値の
Don't be... that's not bad. I almost object out of habit, but it's actually a rather nice morale. Though, I'm not going to think any better of you after one good phrase.
そもそも最底辺の地獄在住でございますからね。ちなみに、最底辺は僕たちにとっての褒め言葉
What
で
is it,
す。
the fucking opposites for you? The voice says without a hint of sarcasm or malice. What exactly is this all about? I thought this devil would have, you know, mentioned Mary already, but they show no signs of doing so. Maybe they don't know? Even so, they admitted that they know a lot about him here. You know, stuff that they shouldn't really know about him or anybody else. If they're not aware of her, then I'm certainly not going to bring it up.
夜のためにも朝のご挨拶はこれで済ませますが、あなた様の下僕として無駄なだけの存在と思われるのは心外ですから、一つ
Yeah, let's hear it.
本日の2時間目の数学の授業で抜き打ちのテストがあります。
What the fuck, you got foresight?
では、良い一日を。
The call disconnects. Pre-recognition. I doubt it. More like an educated guess after researching the people around me and finding one of my teachers preparing for a test. I could almost see this as useful, if it didn't feel so wrong. Devils know things that we humans cannot. Honestly, use every bit of resource you have. I'm not saying go out there and cheat, but like, hey, you know, if you find something online, you know, accidentally or whatever, that helps you, benefits you, whatever, you know, take it with you for your education. Schools are fucking evil. I remind myself again that this is but just one more of the tricks in the devil's playbook. Yeah, we gotta remember, this is also a devil. Like, there's gonna be some caveats here. There's gonna be some crazy shit happening. Yet I can't help but accept that I'm going to be preparing for the test awaiting me in second period. I mean, we can wait and see if it actually does pop up. Coincidence or not, or whatever. Regardless, I return to my daily life. Girls bustle on out of the dorms, making their way to class. They paint a picture, their chic black uniforms contrasting with the wintry morning and classical buildings. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that indeed being a contrast here. Now that I'm actually getting a look of, like, the coloration of this setting now that it's bright outside. It's still kind of ugly because, you know, the snowy season. Though no picture could capture the cheerful laughs and bright smiles of these refined young ladies. Refined asterisk. There's some other shit going on here. A group of students catches sight of me and proceeds to greet me with a chorus of "Good morning, Father." Good morning. I return with a smile. Only second and third year students, those who are used to me, will say hello. The first years will only stare at me, cautious and curious of the sole male attending a girls' academy. Come spring, or at the latest, summer, they will have grown used to me, too. It is still very awkward, but I guess given the circumstances and him being a priest, yeah, I guess it'll all work out somehow, right? I change into my indoor shoes and enter the building. This does not look like a school. I didn't get a chance to explain to Mary, but wearing different shoes inside the school building is one of the academy's traditions. It might seem strange given that my residence and the dorms are so westernized that it's perfectly normal to wear outside shoes indoors. I've even collapsed into bed without taking my shoes off before. You'd think based off of this that one could wear outdoor shoes in the school buildings too, but it seems as far as the outside world is concerned, changing into indoor shoes is considered normal. Yeah, Western-styled buildings aside and all that, it seems they are still bringing in the Japanese customs, which is fine. I guess that's totally understandable, given where we are. I continue on to the second floor. Also, this is supposed to be a school. Yeah, you need to learn customs. That makes sense, I would argue. So what's the classroom look like? Okay. Not what I was really imagining or picturing in my head, but yeah, this is a classroom. Look at all the fucking lights. God damn. What a really open room. Where I find my classroom. With the AC blowing heat and a heavily feminine scent, it always feels like I'm walking into a gingerbread house. Since I'm so conspicuous, I receive even more greetings than when I was walking outside. Good morning, everyone. I reply at the entrance before promptly taking my seat. By this point, no one's really focused on me. We can be in our own world and get through school. I'm pretty well accepted by my class. Teachers and nuns have said that the classes I'm in are far calmer than ones with only girls. Something about how having a single male in the room reminds them to act more ladylike. Though that's not the only reason I don't get strange looks in class. I mutter to myself, thinking about how I'm going to sum this all up for Mary later. And then... Oh, hey, another character. Whoa. I lurch up straight as someone jumps onto my back. The person, still on my back, whispers into my ear with a giggle. You startled the life out of me, Akisabi-san. Get off of me already. This girl is a classmate and a friend of mine. Or rather, the only girl at this academy I can even call a friend. At least we have one. I feel like an idiot having to talk to my back, though. Wait, you've never said that. Oh, and oh so coincidentally, now's the time. Okay, well, would you mind getting off my back now? I like the feeling of her pressing up against me, but our builds aren't that different, so she's really weighing down on me. How do you pronounce that? Mikako? Honestly, a little bit easier than whatever we called her at first. Hey, hold on now. She whispers teasingly in my ear, sending a shudder down my spine. Okay, fine. Please just get off of me, Mikako-san. Can we see this character? There we go. Alright. I don't know what to think, honestly. I really don't. But okay. No, I know that we have more characters to learn about, that, there's four... I think there's four. The save menu, the save load menu showed 4 characters, 4 female characters that we get to, know about eventually. One is the vampire. I guess another is this character. And this is our sole friend. She hops down and walks around in front of me. The girl, Akasabi Mikako, says with a cat-like grin. And I'm left frowning like a rat. Come on, at least give me that. I mess around with my collar to escape the overwhelming embarrassment. It's first thing in the morning, and the whole class is staring our way. Well, yeah, she just jumped onto the back of the one male student, or possibly male individual in this entire institution here on this property. Well, maybe not the only male, but still, male student, and the priest here. Though Mikako's the only one they're really staring at. The reason I don't stand out much here is simply because this girl stands out a whole lot more.
継承とか邪魔だよ。人の名前を呼ぶごとに2文字か3文字は言葉が多くなるんだから、人生で考えるとすごい時間のロスになるよ。
I mean, I'm not gonna argue that she has a point here. She says matter-of-factly. I feel like I've heard that argument somewhere before. Maybe not in the same sense, but I don't know. I guess it's kind of, I guess it is kind of a fact, come to think of it. Mikako, I get where you're coming from, but it's going against every instinct I have.
理解できるのに納得できないんだ。変なの。
Thing is, I've grown up, obviously, never having to deal with honorifics. Here in the West, that don't exist. That's just something that everybody here has grown up thinking is, you know, it's a formality, it's normal, it's something that you add on to be nice. When you're told not to do that, I'm still trying to get it through my head. That can kind of be embarrassing for people. I guess in a way you could, you know, see it as like somebody that you would always say is like Mr., Miss, or Mrs., or you'd call them doctor, professor, whatever, and then they tell you, nah, just use my first name, you know, just without anything. It would be a little weird, you know? Or calling somebody by a nickname. I don't know. Normal people don't have minds that line up perfectly with their instincts.
私普通じゃないし。
I can tell. I can tell pretty well here. Yeah, good point. I bet that Mikako's mind and instincts are in total sync. She's a true rich girl. Her parents, celebrities in Kirihara town proper, donate frequently and generously to the academy. The girl herself is known to be a genius, or as some might put it, an eccentric. Mikako might seem as bright and cheery as Mary on the outside, but internally, they couldn't be more different. Her carefree attitude comes down to her being emotionally defunct. In her words, it isn't that she doesn't have emotions at all, but that she deals with them internally before she can display them like any other person would. That's unhealthy. I would know.
りっくんの困った顔は面白いな。
Hey, yo. Why are you so close to us? She flashes a smile as she spreads a notebook open on my desk.
ところで、相談したいことがあって投稿してくるのを待ってたんだけど、次のテストをどうしようか迷ってて。
You are? There's less than a month left until our finals, but it's not like Mikako even needs to study for those. I glance down at the notebook. Not a hint of studying adorns its pages. It's a list of ideas.
第一候補は50点満点のテストで55点を何教科取れるか勝負することで。
What? Why don't we just skip over the impossible?
その方法を考えるのが面白いんだよ。
So, is she supposed to be stupid smart or something? Like, ridiculously to the point where, like, she's kind of bragging about it? If I were to explain what's happening here, I'd say that she's trying to decide how to get the most fun out of our exams.
第二候補はテストを作った先生たちの誕生日を点数にするの。
How would you do that?
点数を書くところに好きな数字とスラッシュを先に書いておいて、点数を比にするの。
Right, maximum of 31 days in a month, so it's possible with a 50-point test. I wish I could see the surprise in the eyes of the teacher marking that test.
こっちのアイデアは5点刻みが多いテストの点数で、どうやって端数を取るかが大事だね。
I mean, if it's in like different parts. Honestly, this is really dumb. You have the strangest studying methods.
どっちの方が難しいと思う？
Could you even argue that this is studying at this point? The teacher's more likely to figure out the birthday one, so that might be more fun. None of the teachers are going to complain about her grades at this point. By all rights, she should have skipped several grades. It's not already gone into if not already gone into specialized training, excuse me. So why is she still here, you ask? Because she too is a bird. Mikako's the youngest child, which would normally mean that she has the least claim to inheriting her parents' business. But she's so incredibly brilliant that her other siblings have been pushed to the side. That makes this academy her birdcage. Mikako looks up at me inquisitively.
なんだかりっくん、今日はご機嫌？朝から
Fuck yeah.
何かあった？
100%, man, we were visited by a goddamn cute-ass vampire. Huh? I do? I don't know what minute change she picked up on or how she did it, but it makes me panic. A whole lot has happened. Mary, vampires, devils. I'm not doing anything wrong by allowing Mary to live with me, and Mikako will probably find out sooner or later anyway, so I may as well just tell her. But not now. Not when the prying ears of my classmates might overhear. I mean, this looks like a spacious yet pretty tight-knit classroom. Nothing worth mentioning now.
ふーん、じゃあいいや。
She gets my hint and doesn't press the matter.
ところで、歴史の先生、やっぱり妊娠してたんだって。
Oh, congrats. Yeah, I thought she was. It's an abrupt topic change, but I'm just glad it's something mundane. People had been gossiping about how the stomach of our history teacher, who's obviously a woman, had been getting bigger. She's a married woman nearing her 40s, so if she'd been trying for a while, then good for her.
先生が夏休みに帰省して旦那さんとやることやったんだねってことと、3ヶ月過ぎて流産の可能性もなくて安心だねって誰かが話してた。
Oh, lovely. Honestly, like, I don't know. I'm a stupid-ass man. I think we can all agree with that, right? Or you can maybe argue that a lot of men are just really dumb. So, one of my professors from college, it was probably one of my first few semesters, but he had asked one of the students that was there if she was pregnant, because at that point in her pregnancy, yes, she obviously was. Like, usually there's a really big telltale sign. And then he told a story of like, oh, thank God you said yes. And then he told a story of how he thought somebody was pregnant, and he said, how much more time you got? How many more months? Or how many months are you in? And he got slammed with the fact that no, she was not pregnant. I don't know. Like, I feel like you'd be able to tell, but also I'm stupid, and so was he. I don't know. It is what it is. Anyways, back to this. Really reminds me that this academy is for girls when you go into so much detail. I'm barely even conscious of any of that.
子孫を残すことは種の繁栄には不可欠だし、すごいことだよ。
No one would ever say that. No one ever says, yep, getting pregnant for that reason. Well, I don't know. Maybe here, you know, Japan's a whole different area. Your phrasing is as weird as always, so I'll just take that to mean that you think pregnancy is a good thing.
なんとなくだけどね。私はそういう意味では劣勢だし。
Why the fuck would it be? She says as casually as anything. This is a girl who's on good terms with everyone, but never tries to truly get close to someone. Her emotional deficiency means that she knows not friendship nor love. She understands the concepts, of course, but they don't follow through to actual feelings. The strong among us feel no need to be a part of a flock, which makes her the only girl who has sex with me for pleasure alone. Really? Not that she's inquired as of late. Jesus Christ. That was sudden and loud. It's not super loud, but it's just, damn. Our chat is over.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. There was a lingering thought in my mind, like, okay, these two are friends. What does she know about him? Well, I guess enough. This signal brings Mikako to silence. She proceeds to return to her seat. Honestly, we didn't manage to finish talking about our history teacher. Not only is this academy for girls, but all the staff here are women too. Hence, they're very understanding about pregnancies and childcare, and give out generous time off. As you know, every company, every institution, wherever you work should definitely do that. It sounds as if the teacher is already on maternity leave, so we'll be having a substitute teacher. I hope to myself that it doesn't affect our finals, and then smile wryly at how ordinary that thought is. And now we're just staring at the ceiling. Nice. The rest of my day is nothing special, just a usual day of classes. The devil's prediction came true, with a pop quiz awaiting me in second period. For lunch I ate what Mary made me. It was great. Fifth period was gym class, which I take separately from the female students. I just focused on running. Sixth period sees me struggling to stay awake, suffering from a combination of lack of sleep and post-exercise fatigue. Oh my gosh, I remember that actually, because in my 2 years of high school where I had to do PE, they were always in like 6th period. So if there weren't any manipulation to the lengths of periods, I would have to go to a final class for the day, and I would just be drained. And then it's home time, baby. Students head out in dribs and drabs, going to their clubs or to hang out with friends. Now that I've seen the world of the extraordinary and unexplained, familiar sights like these feel like a glimpse into a distant world. I should get going too. Classes may be over, but I'm not quite done at the academy yet. I'm not only a student given special treatment, but a part of the faculty. What, because we're a priest, or what do we got going on? I head into the staff room on the first floor. There I ask if there are any messages or errands for me. Being the only male at this academy, even if not a particularly well-built one, I often end up tasked with the manual labor. Today I am tasked with carrying the kitchen waste from home ec class and leaves swept up from outside over to the trash dump. There's a lot more trash than from a typical family garbage can, so it is heavy. Lovely. What a grand time. With great effort, I make the round trip between the school building and the dump on the edge of the visitors' car park, taking about an hour in total. By the time I'm done, I'm all hot and sweaty. Well, duh. Even in this cold. I mean, sun is out. At least I'm free now. Usually I would go back to my residence and do my duties at the chapel or in the chapel at this point, but today I have one more thing to do at the academy. And that is... I go back to the staff room and talk to the eldest nun. I ask if we have any information about the time before this place became an academy, the time when Mary lived here. Thanks to the importance that this academy places on tradition, I'm in luck. We have several folders worth of documents. Honestly, I love that about this place already. The fact that they actually maintained a piece of history. I'm all for it. I love that shit. I borrow them and take them back to my classroom to go through them. There are two things I want to confirm. First, the accident that Mary and her parents got into. Second, if there are any inconsistencies in her story. I believe her, but I give an excuse to no one in particular. Again, that's supposed to be 2 words. Unconditionally trusting someone at their word is not faith. It's irresponsible, negligent. Damn, I must be guilty of that then. And I am a priest. Religion and science are not incompatible. Belief can coexist with logic. The first words of someone going through hardship are often, "I'm fine," or "it's nothing. I can relate." They'll say it with a smile. I can relate. A sad lie. Fuck yeah. Sorry guys, I didn't mean for that to be depressing, but I was taught that to save someone, you must be able to see through those lies. This is the wisdom passed down from those unable to see through other people's sad lies, and who become burdened with greater sadness as a result. And I'm not a god. Nothing is absolute when it comes to humans. If anything, being human is what causes mistakes to happen, no matter the amount of preparation. No matter how strong or pure of heart you are, the wounds will continue to build up. I look over the documents in silence. Hopefully we find some juicy details of sorts as the day goes on. I don't know if it would find anything like specific, but I do think that if there was an incident of some sort that led to the deaths of like a bunch of people, not just almost 3 people, or I guess in this case, the parents at the most, I don't know. I mean, there had to have been something documented, right? If there was some sort of tragedy. Before I know it, the sun streaming through the window has taken a reddish hue. It's only 5 o'clock, but the dark will creep up on you in an instant in this season. The days are very short in the wintertime, and it's not even winter yet. Like, it's gonna be dark though. And if we're up in the mountains, yeah, 100% gonna be dark really early, especially in the winter. Say hello to 3 p.m. nighttime. Most of the information contained in the folders is in regard to the buildings that were turned into dorms, with little to nothing on the people who used to live here. Super unfortunate, but makes sense, I guess. Happenings in a place this remote were unlikely to have seemed worth recording. That does suck, though. But then I spotted, yellowed out, faded, a clipping from a regional newspaper. Its archaic language makes it hard to read, but not completely indecipherable. It was an appeal for information regarding the disappearance of a young girl, Mary Harker. Her story was true, but she had lied about the circumstances of her parents' death. They hadn't died in an accident. According to the article, they had been murdered in a robbery. God damn it, man. Well, that sucks. I mean, yeah, there was some truth to the story, but things altered a bit for whatever reason. Should we, call her a filthy liar? No. But goddamn. All right, yeah, we'll wrap it up on that one. Guys, I'm enjoying this. Just getting back into this has kind of reminded me of how, interesting Purple Software titles can be. Well, Amatsutumi at least. But no, this is so much fun. I'm excited to learn more, to meet more of the characters, to really dive in deep with this setting here. And I hope you guys are all excited for that as well. And before the next episode, or I guess before I record the next episode, I will do a little bit of tinkering with the font settings and see what I can find out for, better readability, because this is okay, but I want to see if I can find something a little better. But that's just me. Thank you all for tuning into this one. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you guys in the next one. Wait a minute, hold on a fucking minute. None of these characters up here are the character that we just met. What the fuck? Okay, well, unless she is one of the characters up here. Okay, well, whatever. I don't know. We'll just wait and see. Take things as they come. Anyways, again, yeah, thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.